CalazCon is a show about war, obsession, colonialist occupation, and the many forms of violence those inflict. See the description for content warnings specific to this episode. Good morning, Azara Sky.
Hi.
So you come to the DFS from CalazCon, is that correct?
I do, yeah. Yeah.
Why did you switch sides?
I would, it's sort of forced, I guess. I don't know if switch sides implies that I had some choice in it. It was, not exactly my choice.
I see. And what happened during your recent interaction with Jacob's Junkers?
Oh, we were, doing a mission, investigating something with them, and, I used to work for them, so I knew some folks there and got some information from them, and, did some digging.
Hopefully on the behalf of the DFS.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. Now what are they doing in Sire Park?
Boy, I don't know. They didn't really tell me. I think if they told me, they probably would have gotten fired, and people don't like getting fired, so it seemed like something was going on, but they didn't tell me about it.
Noted. Now tell me about the Screech Owl.
Welcome back, listeners and viewers, to CalazCon and the continued adventures of pizza. This episode is sponsored by our squad sponsor, John Kings IV. I am Matthew Guzdial on Twitter at MatthewGuz. I am also joined by Mark.
Hello, I'm Mark. I go by he or them, and I'm playing our scout, Topo. And looking forward to getting into some trouble.
Perfect. I'm also joined by Cole.
Hi there, I'm Cole, aka Ice Cold Brew. My pronouns are he, him, they, them, and I am playing the rookie Dorian Branch, who also goes by he, him, they, them.
Perfect. And I'm also joined by Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex, he, him. You can find me at several different social media places, both on Twitch and Twitter at First5Review, and on YouTube at First5. I'm going to be playing Laren Hetzford and Memo today, and as always, very happy to be here.
Glad to have you. And last but not least, we've got Jake.
Hey, I'm Jake Pritchard. You can find me at co-host at J Pritchard, and I'll be playing Azara Sky, our infiltrator, today.
Excellent. So we're going to come back in here with a lot of you sitting around at the pizza meeting room, once again waiting for your boss slash supervisor slash manager slash whatever other slashes we want to put in here, Antonia. And when she finally shows up, she's a mess. Antonia, she's dropping files, there's a coffee stain on her suit. For the first time since you've known her, her hair is escaping its tight bun. She crashes into the chair at the end of the conference room and says, "Red," and then sort of stops herself and says, "Our legislator is demanding we kill Tempestia." There's sort of a moment of silence for any reactions there. And then she continues, "Despite the clear plan we've laid out to destroy her support structure first, we've been given an order to attack. I won't sugarcoat it. I don't think you all are ready. Thankfully, I found a solution. In fact, it was sitting in our delivery order voicemail." Antonia clicks a remote, and the voice of Empress Gold. It's just her voice, but let's get their appearance on screen as well, because I don't think we've got their appearance on screen before. They are a sort of heavyset, shorter person with like curly hair and like a Hawaiian shirt. Cole picked this one out. Great work, Cole.
Thank you.
And their voice says, "Hello. Sycorax and her screech owl, Avi, have been launching surprise attacks on a supply depot of some dear friends of mine in Jacob's Junkers. If you're the kind of squad I think you are, I'm sure you can deal with this." And then Antonia again clicks a remote, and the voice and or hologram or whatever of Empress Gold goes away. "Find and take out Sycorax and her mech. I don't care how, but if Tempestia shows up, you must engage. There's no other way I can get us through this." So, today, the objective: kill Sycorax and destroy the Screech Owl, her Avi, her mech, or otherwise remove them from the conflict. You have a secondary objective, which is to kill Tempestia. Now, Laren has marked Tempestia as his rival, which makes that a little bit challenging. You have 3 rules of engagement. The first is, under no circumstances, be caught inside the Jacob's Junkers Limited's supply depot. If Tempestia appears, number 2, you must engage. And rule 3, do not allow Tempestia's squad to determine your identity as pizza. So a couple things on this before we get into any questions you all have. 1, in case anybody listening was like, well, hold on, you should have been in Vendetta last time with Tempestia's squad. Why do you still get 3 downtime activities? Well, don't worry about it. We took War Dogs, so that makes everything okay. 2, I wanted to point this out to you all because there'd been some speculation about it in the chat ahead of time. That 3rd rule of engagement says to determine your identity as pizza. They can still know pizza is around, and in fact, a couple of you put in some effort to get an alibi ready. And I think you could use that alibi without specifically Tempestia figuring out, if you all go after her, that you are pizza. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay, any questions on this basic setup before we get into gathering some infos?
I have a question about our first rule of engagement.
Totally.
Which is caught by anybody or specifically because
yeah, that's a great question.
I guess the way I'm thinking about that is can Jacob's Junkers know that we're there?
No, specifically.
Okay.
They're the ones who should. Well, it's really basically anybody who's on the CalazCon faction. Okay. None of those squads should know that you're in there.
Okay.
Any other questions on the basics here?
This might be a gathering information thing instead, but has it been established who exactly Sycorax is?
No. You know that she is a member of Tempestia's squad.
Okay.
Let's go back. So if this came up, right? If this is Laren asking, right? Then I think Antonia would again do the same thing that she did last time, right? Which is clicking, and from this screen that's over here, she would show you sort of the information that you have. So for Sycorax, you have a visual. This is what Sycorax looks like. She's sort of this dark-skinned woman with relaxed or straightened hair. She's wearing a weird outfit. It looks kind of like a Cirque du Soleil outfit mixed with an Eva pilot suit. Imagine something in between those two. That's sort of what she's wearing. And I think they also have scratchy security camera footage of her mech, the Screech Owl. And I say that it's sort of scratchy or indistinct because the mech, the Avi, is itself indistinct. It has the sort of silhouette of a Screech Owl, but
that's awesome.
It looks foggy or cloudy or weird in some way. She's a member of Tempestia's squad. She has been for several years. I think that you know that she is their infiltrator or their scout. So Topo, Hazara, this is your equivalent in the Tempestia squad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think I would look at that and be like, that's sick as hell.
Any other questions on the basic sort of setup here?
Does Jacob's Junker know that we're about to start a hit on a Sycorax?
Yes. So you are totally allowed. In fact, I'll go ahead and bring you all back to the CalazCon map. The red sort of square on your map here, this is where the Jacobs Junkers supply depot is. You're allowed to know where it is. You're allowed to go visit it if you want to gain more information. I assumably Antonia has had to like be in contact with Empress Gold to like figure out payment and stuff, right? So like you're allowed to go and go to the scene, right? Sycorax, she's been attacking this supply depot multiple times already, which is why Empress Gold has sort of taken this hit out on her. Empress Gold, by the way, is a member of the Early Birds, not Jacobs Junkers. So there's some sort of like inter-CalazCon factional thing, right? That you can sort of read into that. There's some vested interest here. The only thing you're restricted from is like going in, but you can go to the outside of it and like talk to people there. You just can't go into it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And just to say explicitly, this is on the outskirts of Zyre Park, which is the like rundown place that a whole bunch of the Jovangelian citizens that were like the original citizens of Hestial are like staying there. It's basically like a refugee area now, right, for all of these Jovangelians. So just to call that out specifically, that is like the area in which this mission will occur. There is a special rule for Zyre Park, so I'll just tell you all this now. This has come up. You get prowl rolls in this region, gain an extra die, but hunt rolls take a -1 die because of the overcrowding. Things are bad in there. Any other questions on the basic setup?
Not as of yet, but I was struggling to remember, where did we put our assets? Did we put them on the spreadsheet, or do we have them written down somewhere? Because I can't remember where it is.
The assets, I don't remember if you all added it to the spreadsheet. I think that we talked about some of you adding it as a note somewhere on the spreadsheet. Like maybe it was under the redacted or something. No, it was not. Well, I know you all got that alibi. That is certainly true. And was there something else that you all picked up? Yes, a tier 1 disguise. Dorian had a tier 1 disguise from Curse.
Specifically, it was a tier 1 disguise that only works in Curse. That's the unfortunate bit.
Well, I think we can abstract a little bit. As with, most Forged in the Dark style games, a item doesn't have to be defined until it needs to be defined. What you have is a tier 1 outfit or a tier 1 disguise. We can play a little fast and loose with the details there.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because I was trying to remember where all the assets we picked up from downtime were at.
Well, those are the 2 that I have. I think those are the only 2 you had.
Mm-hmm.
This is, once again, kind of transitioning over towards the information gathering phase.
Yeah.
But based on the location of this supply depot that keeps getting hit, is Sycorax primarily hanging out in Zyre Park? Do we know that? Do we need to hunt that down?
That is information that you would need to look into, yeah. So,
all right.
How do you go about trying to learn that?
Ooh, actually, I think I might have an idea. So this mech, or the Avi, has some sort of weird, we don't really know what it is, cloaking thing, electromagnetic thing, so something giving it the weird fuzzies.
Yep, touch fuzzy, get dizzy. Sorry, that's a Yoshi's Story reference.
Can I use the hummingbird from on high and try to, just like scan the city to see if I can find any of those weird, like just like crazy, 30-foot tall electronic signatures giving things weird fuzzies?
Yes, the answer is yes. I think that flying your war machine through a contested space is probably
might
not
be a
a
little
fortune
dangerous.
roll.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'd give you controlled because your Avi is not as obviously like a weapon of war as some other ones, but it would be in a controlled position for that one.
Okay, sure. Yeah, let's try that.
Okie dokie. So this is just flying overhead and scanning, you're saying, basically?
Yeah.
Well, to me, that sounds like a scan. I don't know about you.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm going to do anything to get bonus die. I might just spend the one.
Okay.
I mean, I already have some leftover stress from the last mission.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I really want to go immediately spending more stress and getting to the actual fight itself with nothing in the tank. So.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. So then controlled standard 1 die scan.
This is the thing, though. I did because we leveled up. I did ultimately decide to take Warlord, which says when you have a vendetta with another squad, your squad gets improved effect against them.
Okay. So then controlled great.
Controlled great. That would be correct. Okay, so this is going to be scan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go. There's a one.
Woof.
Love it. Love it.
Okay. So here's what happens. You are doing low-flying runs over Zyre Park, going between there and Hall H and Praxian Plaza, which is sort of like the region in which this supply depot is. And generally, I think the area closest to Zyre Park is like it's like a warehouse district, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure cities have warehouse districts where it's just like warehouses as far as you can see. It's not exactly the nicest place, right? It's like scrubby. There's like big parking lots, but that's because they have like, dozens, if not hundreds of trucks that just park in these parking lots to like move things around the city, right? To help supply CalazCon. And Laren, inside Hummingbird, you do pick up a signal, something weird in this area. But it's not coming from within Zyre Park. It's coming from outside of Zyre Park. It's coming from like north of Zyre Park. Hestiel doesn't have like strict city limits. There's not like a river or like a mountain or anything to like stop where the city goes. So it just sprawls. And so there's like a highway into Hestiel from other parts of the planet, in and out of Hestiel. And like you get a ping there. But then by the time you fly out that far, you've lost it. You've lost the signal, right? That's the one here. And the other thing that happens as a consequence, just a controlled consequence, not that bad, is you, or Mem actually reports is like, Mem calls you Mariner? Is that what we decided on? Or Laren?
I think Mem would call me Laren.
Okay. Mem goes, Laren, something just locked onto us. But you don't see it. You don't know where it is, but something locked onto you. Something knows you there. I am starting a clock. This is resistible, but you would have to tell me how. This is going to be a D6 clock. I'll put it up in this zone. It's a bad clock, so I'll color code it red.
I don't think this is resistible because I still have 2 quirks used. And considering our previous conversation, I definitely do not want to go into this mission with a breakdown.
Yeah. Fair. And hey, it's just starting a clock. It's not like I've finished a clock or anything.
Yeah, it's fine.
But you at least know like a region, right, to watch out for. It's specifically the region I put the clock in. So it's like over here seems to be where she's coming from. Make sense?
Yeah.
North of Zyre Park. Anybody else has a gather info they want to do?
I think there are people who go to Jacob's Junkers and try to see if they can get like any merch to quote unquote fall off the truck. Literally. What I kind of want to do is get the Jacob's Junkers favor by like helping them out and how do I want to say this? I don't want to steal stuff from them, but I definitely want them to be friendly enough with me where if I end up near their trucks, they won't question it if I start taking stuff out.
Okay. You know what I bet is true about this world, this terrible world, is that fans just show up to volunteer to like help Jacob's Junkers like load and unload trucks.
Oh my god, that's so true.
That's very true. And you know what? I feel like that's exactly what Dorian would do too.
Awesome.
Stomach churning.
Okay, perfect. Maybe you can get some custom swag by doing this, like a lanyard. You get like a CalazCon lanyard from this.
Fuck.
Okay, so let's see. What do we think loading and unloading a truck is? Maybe struggle?
I would say struggle or like consort to, because the point of this is me talking them up and making me kind of like a good friend with them.
Totally. So this one's a fortune roll. Yeah, 1 die. It's a consort.
And I'm not going to spend any stress or anything for this. I'm just going to roll the 1.
Hey,
consistent.
A 5. Hey, buddy. So yeah. You got what you wanted here, right?
Yeah.
So let me actually move you so you can get a sense of, because assumably you went to this supply depot, right?
Oh yeah.
So this is what this supply depot looks like. Brought that up on the Roll20. It's this big warehouse building, right? This is like some Wikimedia Commons warehouse. And so like they've got you at like one of these loading, unloading docks that's like over on the left of this building. The building is a lot bigger than you thought it should have to be for like con swag. Like that's kind of weird. It's this big building with these like sections that are painted in blue. It has sort of like catwalks going up the side. A whole section of it is just for like trucks to come up on. And the only thing that's not present in this image, but is true about this sort of setup, is that there's a whole bunch of construction work happening where like the whole like east-facing wall, the one like we're looking at in this image, has like a massive hole in it that like people are like literally right now like welding scrap iron over to like close up. And you can see that there's a similar crew on the roof, and the parking lot also has like what is very clearly a new patch of asphalt because it's like a different color than the rest, right?
Jesus.
Like they've been hit repeatedly, and you can very clearly see the impacts there. Who would Dorian be targeting here? Like there's somebody who's very clearly in charge. Is that who Dorian wants to get close to? Does Dorian want to get close to the like construction people? Who are you interested in here?
I think I'm going to get closer to the construction people.
Okay.
I kind of want to know what they've been seeing on the inside because, like, on an outside perspective, is this just like hit and runs just to fuck up their day, or is this like we're trying to find our way in here to take stuff eventually?
Yeah, great question. So who you end up talking to is Jackson Furl. He is a sort of young-ish dude. He, him pronouns, thus dude, though not all dudes are he, him, etc., etc. Sort of darker skin, wearing sunglasses, a little bit of facial hair. Maybe late 20s, maybe early 30s. You can't really tell, but he is like deeply tired when you find him. He is like sort of distracted whenever you go up and talk to him. He's like, hey, Jerry, no, do not connect that like that. What are you doing, man? Come on, I don't want to be here all day. Let's get this finished, all right? How do you approach this guy?
I look at what Jerry is doing, and I'm just like, that doesn't. Fucking, I remember the voice of Dorian for a second. That doesn't look too good. How happened?
Yeah. I mean, it sure doesn't look good. That's
also Jerry's doing a real fucked up job.
Yeah, Jerry always does. I'd get up there myself, but I've got like half a dozen people I'm having to watch. Hey, Lucinda, no, not the A4s. Yeah, the A4s. Yeah, I don't know, man. They did like there's somebody doing hit and runs, I guess, on this building, which is fucking weird. I don't know. Maybe somebody trying to like get in for custom merch or something. I don't know the exact details. I'm just the construction guy. I'm Jackson Furl, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Jackson. I'm Doran.
Doran. Okay, yeah, good to meet you, Doran. You were helping them out. Yeah, it's great. You were helping them unload the trucks or something?
Yeah. You know, just I got like a young nephew, loves this kind of stuff. Found out I was working here for the con and wanted me to fetch some stuff. So, you know, I'm trying to pick some stuff up here.
Yeah, sure.
What do you mean? What do you mean they're doing hit and runs though? Like, usually you do a hit and run, then you snag something on the way out, but That's weird. Like, has anyone been able to spot him and chase him down?
You got to go talk to Bella about the details on this. He points her out. Belladonna is the lady who is like in charge, who's like giving you your marching orders. She's like the head of this supply depot. She's like this light-skinned, heavy makeup, red dyed hair, sort of heavy set, big like leather jacket, big crucifix necklace, cool goth lady, basically. Belladonna sort of runs this whole thing, but she said that whoever they are, they've been doing long-range attacks, like out of sight. They haven't even seen the mech. These massive like bolts of energy come out of nothing. I mean, you can see the scorching. Like look up there on the wall there. You see how it's sort of like burnt. Yeah, some sort of like plasma thing. Anyway, he like points over to the parking lot, the fresh asphalt. Whoever they are, they've been getting closer. I think that they haven't quite figured out where they want to hit yet, and that's why they keep on doing these strikes.
Huh.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's fucked up. How many times they got you coming out here a week?
Well, yeah, I was over in Curse. Man, they've got me all over the place with Jacob's Junkers. I'm like the number one construction guy or something. I don't know. I just want to be done with this, get back to building the stuff I want to build. But I've been out here 3-4 times already, just in the past couple of weeks, and I'm going to guess I'm going to be out at least 3 or 4 more times in the next couple of weeks. Really hope somebody takes care of this,
I hear you. Fuck, that's fucked up. Like, for a logistics company, too, that's... We can move on from the scene, but Doran definitely asked what Jonathan builds on the side. Just in case.
It's not... Jackson. Jaxon, Furl, Furl. Jackson's like, oh, well, what don't I make? I do Gunpla, I do cosplay, do mech cosplay. I do, like, recreations of classic scenes from CalazCon,
Oh, yeah.
All right, you two just nerd out for about 30 minutes.
Perfect.
Dorian misses his, like, check-in time for the squad. I won't say that that's true, but that feels like that could be true here.
I was going to say that is true, but at some point after the 30 minutes, I'm just going to kind of look at it and just say, and maybe try to see if I can weasel out. Like, you said they're shooting it from long range. Like, from what angle have they been shooting from? Try to get like a approximate distance and like maybe close out the...
Yeah.
So like if they're shooting on this, are they shooting right from over here? Are they shooting from up here?
Yeah. I think that you can tell. I did tell you that it was sort of like the east side, right? And like the ceiling of the thing. And that would tell you that they have to be coming from like northeast, like right on the edge of like the big wall of like stuff that they have surrounding Zyre Park. So it's like in this zone has to be where Sycorax is shooting from.
All right. I'm late for my check-in time, but I do let y'all know. I think I kind of have an idea where Sycorax is shooting from.
Anybody else gathering info here?
I would love to go snoop around there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, perfect. Hey, Jake, remind me about Azara's like history.
Yeah, so Azara used to work for Jacob's Junkers.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. So definitely has met Belladonna.
Oh, perfect.
I don't know if I've met Jackson yet.
Jackson like moves around a lot more.
Yeah.
If you want to say that like Azara and Belladonna are friends, I'm happy to say that's true.
Yeah, I think I sort of just left kind of suddenly.
Sure.
But I think Belladonna and I were pretty close. Yeah, I used to do I was basically hired by Jacob's Junkers to like test out their security by trying to infiltrate into their system.
Right.
Do you want Topo to tag along on your scouting mission there?
That would be great.
I think I would like to do that.
Okay. So is this post Dorian hanging out?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so we get the general location. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then is this like, do you all go back at night? Do you go back later that day? What's the vibe? What do you want to be the situation when you go?
Night sounds great to me, but
Yeah, I'm imagining sort of like going into this, like neighborhood sort of refugee camp.
Right.
And like looking around and maybe like asking people some questions about like, hey, have there been like we've heard some rumors that there's like been like some recent airstrikes.
Totally.
And like just asking some of the people that live there that maybe have had a better viewpoint or can give us some information.
I mean, you could just go up and talk to Belladonna.
Oh, yeah. I'd be happy to do that.
I would give you an advantage for going and talking with Belladonna. I would not give you an advantage for just talking to randos. I was going to give you something for like the fact that you have connections here, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, does Belladonna like I almost want to catch her like not at work.
Oh, sure. It like, what does she like to do after work? You tell me.
Oh, the first thing that came to mind was like axe throwing.
Oh, hell yeah. There's an axe throwing bar. Of course there is. It's a fucking con. I don't have an axe throwing, unfortunately, but
yeah, weird.
Yeah, weird that I didn't prep axe throwing.
We maybe like after work would like we would go and
totally
drink some beers and throw some axes at the wall.
It's up to you. Do you want to play out the scene till we get to a point where you would do the roll, or do you want to do the roll to inform the scene?
Let's do the roll and then see how, so I can sort of like frame it.
Totally. In that case, I think this is going to be a sway. You're like trying to get what is technically like, secret Jacob's Junkers Limited's info, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you advantage. I don't think you get an extra advantage from Topo being there. I think that's mostly flavor in this case, because I don't think that's really helping you socially. No offense to Topo, but he's not.
No.
They're not.
That is accurate.
Okay. So give me a fortune roll 2d6. Okay. So that is a 4. So you get standard info here. So Belladonna and a number of other Jacob's Junkers people who you can tell because there's not a uniform, right? But they're all wearing similarly like fashionable, like cool fan outfits. Do you know what I mean? They're not in cosplay, but they're like influencer outfits is maybe the words to be using.
Yeah, okay.
Right? So you spot them from across the bar, no problem. Belladonna has like a pint of something, which she's holding in one hand. She has an axe in the other, and she's sort of like one-handed, one eye closed to aim, throws the axe at the target, and of course it goes like straight down the middle, right?
Totally.
Do you approach her, or does she see you?
I think I would approach her, and I would sort of give Topo a heads up, like, hey, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I used to work for these people, so be cool.
Cool.
On the way over? Yeah,
like, enter the bar, spot them, and as we're, like, from the door to their area.
Oh my god. And Topo's fine with that?
Yeah, I think Topo will actually be like, cool, I'm going to hang out like closer to the front, just like keep an eye on the place.
Totally. We might have a follow-up fortune roll for you later.
Nice.
So you go up to her. What's your opener? You see Belladonna Rosebloom. What's your Rosebloom? What's your opener?
I think I would say something to the effect of like, I see you haven't lost your expert aim or your penchants for drinks, Bella.
And I see that you still have a tendency to come and go as you please. Hey, Zara, good to see you.
Yeah,
here.
good to see you.
There's plenty of axes around. Come and join us.
Yeah, that would be great. I think I would like grab it and, I think I'm not as good at it, but I'm like competent.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I would grab it and I'd like cheers her. I'd actually maybe I'd like bring over a drink.
And
be like, hey, well, so how's it going? I haven't seen you in a while. How are things been?
Oh man, you don't even know. They have me running one of those supply depots here on Hestiel. And strangest fucking thing. They keep on. I don't know if I should even be saying this, but I mean, you're cool. Yeah. There's somebody that keeps on attacking us. That like attacking the supply depot of all things.
Are they like taking stuff?
No, not yet. It seems like they're like testing our defenses.
Ugh, jeez.
Yeah, I really wish I had my security expert stuff.
Yeah, I mean, damn, it's a little flattering that I leave and your security goes to shit, but
all right.
I mean, do you know who it is? Who'd you piss off?
Well,
not you, but
yeah, well,
maybe you.
No. So word is that it's Tempestia, one of those Jovangelian like higher ups, old hero types. Somebody from her squad. For some reason has a bone to pick with us. I don't get it.
That's really weird. What are they? Has anybody gotten hurt?
You know her well enough, right? Mm-hmm. To know when she's hiding something. Like maybe you played poker with her or something before. Like,
yeah.
What's a tell that she has?
She takes a big sip of her drink before she's lying.
Perfect. Yeah, she takes a big quaff, dwarf style, and says, no, small miracle, but nobody's been hurt so far. You know she's lying.
Yeah, I would sort of give her the look that I just sort of did, even though you can't see, but just sort of like looking down a little bit, like, come on. And I was like, oh, it's that bad, huh?
There's some stuff that I can't tell you anymore, Azara.
Yeah. This is just me being curious at this point, but are they coming from anywhere? Is somebody on the inside giving them information? Like, where are they coming from?
I don't think that we think it's Sycorax's person. Mm-hmm. We don't think that she knows exactly where to hit yet. So if they had somebody on the inside, you figure they would have done that already.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's a good point. And I guess the follow-up would be like, what would they be even trying to hit? Out of character, like what at this depot would be like that, like, are they trying to blow up like a fuel thing or something? Like, what are they trying to hit?
She pauses for a second and like leans in close to you. And she says, okay, I can't tell you much. I don't even know fully what's happening, but we're working on something big. And she's like excited, like a quiet excitement. Like she's sort of having to like hold herself back. Like, we've got something really exciting happening with CalazCon. And for whatever reason, they don't want us to do it. That's what we think she's after.
I feel like I would push that a little bit, but I think Azara would know well enough when to like leave it,
right?
Like knows her well enough and it has enough of an understanding of like, she's telling me not because she doesn't want to, but because she'd probably lose her job if she did.
Yeah, exactly.
So I just say like, all right, well, look, if this keeps happening, I obviously I got another gig now, but I could do a little consulting on the side if this continues to keep happening. Just let me know.
I really appreciate it, Zara. I really do. But I have some other friends, let's say, and they've called in some favors, and I think it's going to be dealt with.
You don't say. And I think I would sort of like clasp her on their shoulder and say something like, "Hey, I'm going to get another drink, but as I do, you should keep yourself safe. This job is not worth dying over."
Yeah, agreed. Hey, Topo.
Yeah.
I need you to give me a survey. Just a fortune roll.
Just a fortune roll?
Just a fortune roll. Just a fortune roll
How
survey.
many dice?
1 dice. Just 1 dice. That's the number you have in survey.
4.
Okay. So, Topo, speaking of history, you were caught by some sort of Imperial R&D, is what you said?
Yeah.
What was that like?
I think they just rounded some kids up off the street that no one would miss.
When you say they, was this like your stereotypical sci-fi, some sort of like mad doctor type?
Just like guys in like black masked armor, and just kind of like threw a bunch of kids in a truck and put bags over our heads and took us somewhere.
Right. You recognize somebody in the crowd from them. Not like a scientist, not like a a guard, one of the other kids that was grabbed with you, you recognize.
Nice.
If you have a name, you're welcome to add that here, or to come up with one at some point. But
I think his name is Bank.
Bank?
Bank.
I like it.
He was in the gang with me. He was one of the guys, like one of the rougher guys. Where I was like, oh, look out. Is he at the bar, at a table, just hanging out?
Well, that's the thing. He's pushing through the crowd at this bar until he gets to Belladonna's table. He's with Jacob's Junkers now.
Nice. I think I will casually make my way over there as well, and indicate that, like, oh, hey, I'm with Azara. What's up?
Yeah, this is Topo. Topo, this is Bella.
Hey,
Bella,
good to meet
nice
you.
to meet you.
And then Bank is. If I do a voice sort of like this, is that sort of Bank's vibe?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Topo, you son of a bitch.
Damn.
Bank.
No, it's a happy son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does the Predator handshake.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It's like, where have you been all this time, Bank?
I could say the same to you.
I've been keeping busy.
Busy. Yeah. Busy. I've been busy too.
Yeah. Keeping safe.
Safer than we were.
You got that right.
These days, I'm running security with these folks.
No shit.
You're running security. You're keeping people from getting hurt instead of hurting people. That's awesome. Great.
Well,
nice. Well, yeah, I know how it goes. And I give him a little jab on the shoulder.
Yeah. You know, you have to break a few heads sometimes.
Yep. I know that. I just break them from a little bit farther away is all.
Yeah, you always did. I like to be up and personal.
Yeah, you always did.
Is this the end of that scene?
Yeah, I think so. I don't have anything else.
What I will say, because I sort of made you roll a fortune roll here, if you wanted to gather information, I would still let you.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I want to signpost or call to your attention here is whatever they did to you, they were doing different things to Bank.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you have not, legitimately not see him since you got out. Right?
Yeah, maybe he was still in when I got out.
Yeah, and I think that there's something like he's bigger, but not just he grew up, right?
He's augmented. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's wearing some heavy duty jacket or something, but there's weird bumps under there.
Nice. Yeah.
That are probably mostly muscles, but there's something going on here.
Yeah. Cool. Noted.
Are there other gather infos people feel like they need, or are people feeling good to go in terms of an approach?
Well, I mean, now I'm deathly curious about what the heck is happening inside this warehouse. I think that's kind of the point, but...
So we split the squad and one of us breaks in.
You could. That's possible.
We really can't be caught inside, though. That's the thing.
So, well, I mean, let's look at this from another angle. What is the reason we're not supposed to be caught inside? Just it's off limits and Jacob's Junkers said that?
Yes, as part of the job, right? The job details were negotiated between Antonia and Empress Gold, right? So this is just from Antonia, so I can answer this. Empress Gold said explicitly, do not go into the supply depot. And Antonia translated that to you all as you cannot get caught inside the supply depot.
Right.
Makes sense, yeah. Okay.
If the Sycorax just happened to get a really good shot in to wherever they wanted to go, and then the Screech Owl just happened to come charging towards Jacob's Junkers supply depot, there might be something inside that, the Screech Owl runs away with. Whether or not Sycorax is in there or not is up for debate, but they saw the Screech Owl take something.
That is very spicy.
Okay, I mean, I agree it's spicy. I'm not sure how you do it.
We obviously need to deliver a pizza to Sycorax, just like the last job.
Oh my god.
I don't know if we're going to be able to deliver a pizza to something that can't really be perceived by the human eye.
I mean, we could keep digging for information and see if we can find the actual storm complex exit they're using to get there, because I remember from our last mission, or maybe it was the downtime, we found out that they're hanging out in the storm complex.
Yeah, they're using that to move through, right? That is a thing you learned.
So that's a potential point where we could catch them.
It's true.
Another thing I was thinking about is my vehicle might have some tools to help us catch them. Because the way I was thinking is, so there are a couple things I have here that I can work with. For one, I have a mobility suite, and I have a quirk that I can push my vehicle with called Intense Accelerator.
Mm-hmm.
And also, of course, being a captain, one of my vehicle gear is the ship catapult.
Mm.
Like in all your old Gundams, they've got their little launch thingy where you can shoot the mechs out. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, you get an increased effect for the first vehicle action you take after you go jumping out. And so my thought was, we could just kind of loiter in the airspace until the Screech Owl decides to shoot its shot.
Right.
And then I just, hit on the nitro, boost on over there, and dump all three of you directly on their face.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, I'm not opposed. I think that sounds like a cool plan.
Yeah.
Okay, so then this sounds to me like y'all are doing an assault, open violence against the target, the detail being the point of the attack, and that's just like when the Screech Owl fires, which will tell you exactly where it is and where Sycorax is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm into that.
Yeah, this is just me spitballing, though, so, doesn't have to be the whole plan.
The other thing that I want to tell you is that specifically, just to make clear what Laren would have gotten, is that it does seem like Sycorax is coming in through a highway from out of town.
Okay, yeah.
So, for whatever reason, this time, they are not using the Hestial Storm Drain complex. Mm. They're using an above-ground route. In fact, like, Mem could do a, sci-fi AI thing and be like, this is the estimated route that Sycorax must be taking to her area of, attack.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, well, then this begs the question, do we want them to get the shot first? Because if they get the shot, then we have a shiny new hold that we can just poke our faces up to. We aren't getting caught inside. We're just gawking from the side.
True.
We haven't broken any rules.
Exactly.
So, okay, here's an idea, because I think Azara would be a little hesitant to screw over Bella and now Bank.
Sure.
Like,
that makes sense.
To the sort of, so one element of like getting around that would be we could like ask them, because as far as I understand it, our ROE isn't that Jacob's Junker doesn't know that we're here. So we could tell Belladonna and Bank, like, hey, we're here to like help take down Sycorax. Like, can you come help us? And so that way their security is out of the loop.
Yeah. Interesting.
Something else that also occurred to me. I don't suggest that we actually do this, but if we want to fish for more information, do we want to like send a little, I don't know, like do we want to page Empress Gold and ask like, hey, we're thinking of like booby trapping the warehouse maybe, just in case somebody tries to break in as part of the security measures. Is there anything we're not allowed to use? Is radiation gonna cause problems? Are microwaves bad? Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Okay, so there's a couple things that were floated there. I am not opposed to Belladonna and Bank coming to help take Sycorax out. That would just be another role, right? And that would be, there's risk there. Mm-hmm. But I would give you advantage given the fact that like there's two personal connections here, right? You get an extra die. You could also talk to Empress Gold. I would let that be just a fortune roll. If you just reach out to Empress Gold, that'd be fine.
Okay.
It's up to y'all.
Well, I know I did jump ahead a little bit, so tackling these one at a time. I do actually kind of like the idea of bringing Belladonna and Bank with.
Sure.
Because, like, yeah, they might think that something's kind of weird and up with us. But you know who isn't going to think that is Tempestia.
Sure.
They're going to think we're just a bunch of random Jacobs Junkers dudes because we're fighting rank and file with them.
Totally.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Okay. This sounds like another sway. I feel like it should be from Topo or Azara.
I agree. I think I would pitch this to them.
Yeah, okay. Probably Azara.
It's at like the end of that sequence at the bar where we're like, "Hey, how would I phrase?"
Well, they said
cards on the table.
We're the favor that your friend. We're the favor friends.
Yeah, we're part of the favor friends, and we could sure use your help. You know what they're doing better than we did because you've already been attacked a number of times.
Sure.
I'm guessing Bank has a mech.
Sure. You'll see.
I'm guessing Bella doesn't have a mech.
You know for sure that Bella has a mech.
Oh, then I would absolutely. I was hesitating because I was like, oh, I don't know. She's just like a. But if I know she has a mech, then I would absolutely float it her way.
I mean, this is Beam Saber, which means this is kind of a world where like you have to have an Avi. Yeah. You have to have a mech to like do shit to like survive, right?
True.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a great mech. It's just a brace, which is like very typical unit type for this faction.
Yeah.
But she's got one.
Yeah. In that case, I'd be like, look, you've got an Avi. I'm guessing Muscles over here has an Avi too. Yeah, that laugh gives me everything I need to know. Topo and I are here not just to catch up with some old friends, although that's a nice bonus here. We're part of the favor your friends owe you.
Oh, okay.
And we'd love it for you to help us too. I think this could be sort of a collaborative effort.
Just like old times.
Just like old times.
So, this is a sway.
Sure.
There is some risk here. This one's not the fortune roll. The fortune roll would be if you talk to Empress Gold. So there is risk, but it's just controlled because you do have this connection. I'm going to give you an extra die to represent this connection. So it's controlled standard 2d6 to start with because you have 1 in sway. Topo could help here.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Okay. What's that help look like?
I think maybe it's kind of like talking up Bank a little bit, like, oh yeah, or like, remember when we did this or that? Like, let's have some, like, this straight work is kind of boring. Let's have some fun.
Totally. Okay, so mark 1 stress, because you still have only 1 belief clock tick with Azara. Can you give me your Azara connection real quick?
My Azara belief is, you're too quiet, but I totally get it and respect him for it.
Perfect. Okay, so are you taking that as extra die or as effect or what?
Your call.
I'm at 2 dice right now, right?
Correct.
Yeah, let's go 3. Let's go 3 dice.
Yeah.
Okay. Controlled standard 3d6. Okay, so that's a 5.
Nice.
5.
Partial success. So that means that you get it. They're on board. Bank goes, ha ha, yeah, Topo and Bank back together. And Belladonna also says, you know, we'd be happy to help you get this annoyance out of our supply depot. But Bank and I have chased her down already, once before. One of the reasons why Empress, I guess they contacted y'all, why Empress reached out to you is when just the 2 of us tried to rush her after one of those shots, those plasma bolts, she had some friends. She had some air support that came in. Like she was bait.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
We got out of there okay, but, you know, you should be expecting that. And what I'm going to do for this controlled consequence is I'm going to tick this clock 1 time. So it is now 1 of 6. You can resist that if you really want.
No. Luckily, there's 4 of us, and we have a few more people that are with us too, so I think we'll be just fine.
That's what I like to hear. My security expert, she says, big grin.
That's right.
Okay. Do y'all feel like you have enough now?
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Okay. Let's do this engagement roll. Is the mission bold? Yep. You're going to wait for her to fire her laser, which Belladonna and Bank are fine with. This is exactly how they found her the last time. Like, they had the same idea you all had.
Mm-hmm.
That's plus 1D. Is the mission complex? No, I don't think so. Unless you're telling me that you are going with the plan of, like, trying to steal the Screech Owl after you get her and then use that to shoot the warehouse. I think that's too complex.
We'll worry about that after we see what kind of state the OV is in after we're done with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember, you have 2 people from Jacob's Junkers now hanging out with you. Be really obvious that you were attacking their supply depot.
Oh no, Dorian's mech got destroyed. Well, it looks like I have to steal a Screech Owl.
Does the tactic exploit vulnerabilities? Yes, so you're at 3 dice. Is the tactic ineffective against the target? No, in fact, it's been used before. You're at 3 dice still. Does the squad have external support? Yes, in this case. You just got that, 4 dice. And is anyone interfering with the mission? Yes. You're at 3 dice.
The dreaded yes of an engagement roll.
I already told you that she has air support.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Okay, this actually sounds this time like this is more of an Azara-led plan.
Mm-hmm.
So
If
I
you
think
can believe
Azara
that.
give me a 3 dice fortune roll. Let's see how this goes. Okay.
Ooh, that's close.
All right.
2, 3,
2, 4 to
4.
3.
Yeah. So that means y'all are going to start in a risky situation, which I think that's right for what this is. Just so I can get the logistics of the situation a little bit more, is it the Laren plan of everybody's up in the Hummingbird and is going to be launched out, or is anybody on the ground, like, waiting? The distinction, just so you can make informed decisions here, is that if you're on the ground waiting, you're not going to be there initially, like when this fight starts.
Mm.
Yeah. I think for Dorian, specifically for the Our Lady of Means, they are probably going to stay in the Hummingbird, just because they don't really have a lot of fast maneuverability options.
Sure, that tracks. Anybody else want to specify their location?
I'm ready to get shot at someone.
Wonderful.
That's good.
Yeah, does anybody want to be with our new Jacob Junker friends?
Yeah, I think I would do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I also have at least 1 point in maneuver, so.
So, this sounds like a Fox and Bank and Belladonna in her brace are all on the ground, right? Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. And then I also need everybody, all the pilots, please mark your load before we sort of get into it, before I tell you what's up, because you're supposed to do that before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Pilot gear, Dorian's going with medium, and vehicle gear, the ballast on models always come light, preferably.
Sure.
I think I'm going medium.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to
Makes
go
sense.
medium as well. I changed my mind.
Reminder that you cannot change your mech loadout, your AVI loadout, right? So if that's been set already, that's done.
Yeah.
But not everybody's
That's like a
already
downtime
showed
thing,
up.
right? To change
Correct.
that?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Fortunately
But
for me, I
pilot
never
stuff,
set mine.
that just happens. Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I don't expect I'll be leaving the Hummingbird, but I think I'm going heavy.
That
Like,
tracks.
we're in open combat here.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be particularly subtle. I
No.
don't feel much need to blend in or anything.
Mm-hmm.
That tracks. That totally tracks. And just so I remember this, Like a Fox is a medium, is that right?
Light.
Light, okay. And Hummingbird is medium?
Medium, yes.
Okay. And Our Lady of Means, did you just say Cole was light?
I changed my mind to medium.
Okay. Is Homer medium?
Homer's medium.
Okay, cool. And Homer is also being launched out of the mech.
Yes.
Okay. So then just to be clear, it is the Hummingbird is launching Our Lady of Means and Homer. On the ground, we have the Brace, we have Like a Fox, and we have Bank. Cool?
Oh, actually, I forgot. We were talking at the start about the alibi. Did that get worked into our Or we skip over that?
It did not get worked into this. What I will tell you is that there's a particular rule of engagement here around Tempestia not figuring out that you're pizza.
That it'll help with. Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So, like, at any time, you can be like, oh, pizza? Oh, no, pizza's doing deliveries, see?
Got it.
Right?
Okay, wonderful.
So, unless you all do something really obvious that says, like, hi, we're pizza, I'm going to, like, honor that fiction and, like, not threaten that. Does that make sense?
Literally just tag the slagged Screech Owl. Big ol' pizza graffiti.
Yeah, please don't. And then, Dorian, if you want to use your costume somehow, let me know. But this doesn't feel like a costume sort of thing right now.
This will not be a costume thing for the moment until... It'll be something I call back. Yeah. It'll be something I call back on.
Okay, so let me talk you through what you find yourselves in. So, Topo, the Brace, and Bank, who is just in, like, a soldier's outfit. Topo, even if you brought something up, he was just like, haha, don't worry about it. You're sort of a little far away, right? You're just sort of, like, probably patrolling makes sense, if that makes sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're just, like, on the streets in this area, right?
Wait, is Topo on the street or am I on the street?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, Azara's on the street. Yeah.
My bad. Like a fox. Azara is like a fox.
Yeah. Okay.
Azara is exactly like a fox.
Yeah,
so you're patrolling. And then the hummingbird is up above. It's night, right? Like, of course it is. If you're going to do some sort of stealth thing, it probably makes sense to do this more at night. And it takes a while before this hits. By which I mean, like, the massive laser. Before the massive laser hits. To the point where you're even wondering if this is going to happen. And then suddenly there is, like, this green arching plasma bolt that, like, comes out of these big streets that are just, like, filled with all this crap by Zyre Park. And you immediately move the hummingbird into pursuit. You launch it down. You can see the Screech Owl, which even in person has this bizarre... It's like the mech is made out of particles, right? Like individual particles. It's like shimmering weirdly, like all of these different trigonals, like they're mirrored bits, right? It is the weirdest thing you've ever seen. The only clear thing on it is the massive, like, railgun plasma rifle on its back. And then you go to launch. And as soon as you go to launch, the second you're like, you know, you check in with Dorian and with Topo, and you're like, all right, you guys ready?
We are ready.
And as soon as you do that, that indicator that you're being targeted, that comes back on. And that's why you're in a risky situation, a risky position when we start.
Nice.
Those of you who were launched out of the Hummingbird, you can take actions now. Those of you who are sort of on foot, you're going to have to wait until, like, the other people have taken actions before you can. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Like some kind of initiative.
Like some kind, but narratively defined, as opposed to having to have a number and rolling a d20, the worst dice.
Yeah.
If everyone's cool with it, I do have an idea on how I could make the Screech Owl a little more visible.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. So, the Balisong standard equipment is a hollow projector.
Okay.
I want to essentially have, like, a piece of rebar, kind of like fashioned like a spear, have the hollow projector on one end. I want to just try to stick that onto the Screech Owl, and then have the hollow projector overlay a more complete version of what the Screech Owl looks like.
Interesting. Okay. I'm into this idea. I would say that when acting against a member of Tempestia's squad, thanks to Mariner, thanks to your captain, you should have increased effect. But even then, this line of attack is only going to give you limited effect. And there's a very specific reason why that you all haven't figured out yet.
Well...
So you'll be starting at limited. Does that make sense?
I don't know if these things stack, but you also get increased effect because it's your first vehicle action
Oh, true.
after getting launched.
They definitely stack. So you're start at standard.
And then on top of that, I would love to take a collateral die from you. Do you have any offers?
Of course you would. Of course I do. You'll note that I kept the funny little 6-sided clock, D6 clock over here. I would love to just tick that just one more time.
Yeah.
It's only at 1 right now.
Yes, the they know clock.
They know.
Oh, what? I wouldn't say it's a they know clock.
It's probably a they know clock.
It's too ominous to be a they know clock.
Okay, so that is now at 2 of the 6. Okay, and then this is you in your mech throwing a big spear with a holographic thingy on it, yeah?
Yeah, more or less.
I got that right? Okay. This sounds to me like I guess it's a battle?
Yeah.
I guess?
I guess it's a battle.
Okay.
Yeah, let me go ahead and mark holo projector on there. What else can I do? So I took a collateral die. That's one way I can add my dice.
Correct.
I cannot push myself because it's... Oh, or I could.
You could.
Fuck the mech. I pushed myself.
Let's go. Spend 1 quirk to push yourself, please.
Already did. I am spending nimble and light because when it gets launched out of a catapult, it's like a fucking bullet, just real quick, real fast,
Sick
into
as
me on
hell.
top of the screech owl.
Totally. That makes sense. You're saying on top. I thought you were throwing this. Are you just sticking this into it?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, please. Just directly from getting dropped and landing on it. Right in the back.
Oh god, that would be good.
Just slingshotting
So sick.
out of this thing directly onto this.
Yeah.
God, that's sick as hell.
You just hear the engine roar as this thing goes past, and 5 seconds later, slam.
Yeah. I think Mariner just hears Dorian say, "This is Our Ladies of Means, acting on your command," and just launches with the fucking holo projector in one hand, and a just like a piece of rebar that they picked up as they loaded into the ship, launched through the air, sticks the holo projector on, and is just like holding a sword and about to stab through someone, just aiming right at the screech owl.
Jeez Louise.
I think as he's falling, there's just privately on a line with Mem going like, "Wait, what? Did we command that?"
Yeah. So it's risky standard?
It is currently risky standard, yes.
Okay.
And it sounded to me like you got 2 dice plus your 1 to have 3.
Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and roll all 3, and we're going to see how this rolls.
Let's
You
go.
rolled 2,
Let's
it looks
go.
like, but that's a 6.
That is a 6, but I rolled only 2, weirdly enough. Oh, okay. So when you
It's
go...
not bonus. Yeah, it doesn't know how
it's
many
just total.
skill you have.
Yeah. So let me roll one more.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe it's a crit. Nope.
Well, we take the 6.
Hey, we take a 6. So, what does it look like, Cole?
Yeah. The screech owl has locked in and fired a shot directly at the warehouse.
Yep.
And 15 seconds passes, like this plasma rifle is like cooling down bit by bit. There's like steam and smoke billowing out from it. And a balisong, sharp and pointed and driving true, holding a very long stick in its hands with a ball at the back end of it, comes in and just lands and goes right into the lower half of the body and just sticks there.
Jeez.
And then a light pops up around the screech owl and tries to give a full image of it so it's easier to target.
Totally. So you've succeeded on that really well, right? You got a 6 on that. I'm not taking that away from you at all. But there's this very interesting thing that happens here, which is that you drive this home, as you say, but like Dorian in the cockpit braces for like collision too soon. Like the sort of haphazardly constructed spear pierces what you think is the Avi, and then it keeps going. And then it does hit something, but it's like a half second later than you want. So there's like this shock as it like goes through you. And what it hit is not the shape of a screech owl at all. It is, what's being highlighted is this like sphere, blue sphere in the middle of this cloud. And I'm calling it a cloud because it is. This is not an Avi. This is a swarm of drones being controlled by a central cockpit.
I legitimately thought you were going to go, and then the cloak comes down and it's Tempestia with a steel chair.
No, that's later.
It was me, Laren. It was me all along.
But this has still had an effect. The effect is I was going to make it be starting point limited to try to hit this thing. It is now just going to be a regular standard to try to hit this thing.
Yeah.
For everybody going forward.
Okay. I think Dorian immediately fires back up to the rest of the squad. Hey, we need to hit a lot of small things quick, now!
Speaking of...
Is it okay if Homer was dropped over here so we can get some crossfire action going on?
Totally.
Cool.
So you're coming up from the south.
So we see the central orb thing in there?
Yep.
The cockpit?
Yep.
Awesome. Now that I won't be shooting at a head that is not there, I got a nice big target, and I would like to unload my fine heavy cannon on that.
Okay.
From a respectable distance.
Yeah, totally. That sounds to me like a bombard.
Yes it is.
Okay. When you use vehicular weapons designed to attack targets beyond human sight, I mean, it's still not quite beyond human sight, but it's pretty far.
Yeah.
This is like a block away or something.
Yeah. I want to be dropped so I can do
totally.
that.
No, I completely agree. I think that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so you're starting at risky standard thanks to the actions of Dorian. Oh, actually, sorry, no. You're starting at risky great thanks to the actions of Dorian.
Hey.
And my heavy cannon is fine, so I think that bumps it up.
To extreme, actually.
Extreme.
Yeah.
Ooh. So risky extreme is where we're starting with this one. So this won't take but 5 seconds to finish this fight.
Is there one past extreme? Can I push that?
No, there is nothing past extreme.
Oh, poo. Okay.
I don't actually know. Is extreme in Beam Saber? I haven't looked at it.
I don't know either.
I'm a fan of the
I don't
players.
think it is, but there is like one level above it that's like overwhelming, but you don't get it by improving great.
Yeah, I don't
You
see
get it by like dropping a skyscraper on a regular guy, right? Like that's the scale at which that comes in, from what I remember.
There's something called dominating effect, apparently.
Yeah, that's the one. That's what I'm thinking of.
I do want to take this time to remind folks our reputation as a squad is mysteriously effective.
True.
And I feel like this is about to be one of those moments again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I'd like to push. That's by taking a quirk, right?
Yes, in your mech, in your Avi, that is by taking a quirk.
Cool. I think we're gonna go with we'll go with sensitive controls.
Sure.
Like aim in the general direction and then like zoom in and then like hit the micro adjustments. Like get just in there.
Totally.
Cool. Is that 3 dice I've got there?
That sounds to me like 3 dice you've got there.
All right. You know what? Yeah. Can I get what do they call the devil's bargains here?
A collateral die.
A collateral die.
Collateral
yeah.
die.
One of those.
I'm not going to have it just be a further tick on this clock. That's not exciting. I'm going to make you all get failures to tick that clock some more. Or I'll use some rival moves or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll have some of those around. The collateral die is that a non-Tempestia someone will arrive on the scene.
Fantastic.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Take your 4 dice.
Cool. 4 dice. This is a bombard.
Mm-hmm.
And it is position is risky.
Risky extreme, or whatever it will let you select.
Yeah, I was going to say
goes up to great.
If we're not allowed to do extreme, you can just trade that bonus point out and take it to controlled instead.
That's true. Yeah. What do we think about that? Is that do we want to call it extreme or do we want to go to controlled? your GM.
I will let you make that choice. Even though it won't let you, I'm being a fan of the players, you could be extreme.
Yeah, I would love to be extreme here.
I was going to say,
Yeah, that also feels more narratively. Yeah, that feels more narratively appropriate that Topo doesn't take a controlled position.
Yeah, no,
Totally.
Cool. I think I hit the right buttons. Let's see what happens. There's my 6.
There's your 6.
Wow.
That 4th die is my 6. Yes.
All right. So I'm starting a good clock this time. This is the dealing with the Screech Owl. It is now halfway complete already.
Nice. Yeah.
Nicely
and so
done.
it's like, I think just like dropping in, and as soon as it's like the focus screen comes in, micro adjust that and just peg it with a big ass plasma cannon in the middle of the dot there. And do I see anything like when it hits? Is there like does it like highlight any stuff there?
Yeah, in
Knock
fact,
drones out or whatever. Yeah.
what you see is that the plasma rifle, that wasn't a part of this weird sphere cockpit. You see that your hit breaks apart the plasma rifle, and it just becomes these weird mirror shard drones.
Huh.
This mech is like reconfigurable in that way.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gotta get me one of those.
It's also, there's like this terrible screeching sound, unsurprisingly, right? From this thing hitting all these like metal plates. This has happened too fast for, Sycorax to react in there right now.
Yeah.
But with these two sort of like attacks done, Sycorax is now like starting to move and is immediately moving to flee, right? Like you can see the shift of like all of these drones at once moving further back. This has been too fast for her to like get far or anything, but she is moving. And then you took a collateral die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so unfortunately for you, the thing that happens is this Heppy cannon that you shot, you can see now, hopefully, that Sycorax was like, that Screech Owl was like standing on top of something, right?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, you can see a few of these sort of scattered through this space, right?
Mm-hmm.
Coming out of the smoke after your shot is a Jovangelian civilian who was just in this blue thing. And there's 3 more of them, right? One here and one here. These are civilians. I'm using the soldier icon, but I don't have... You know what? Actually, I have a Jovangelian symbol. We're going to use that one. Right? These are just like people in dirty clothes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who have like some improvised body armor, right? Like just like thick vests on, basically. No weapons at all. And they're just like coming out of the smoke, coughing, raising their hands, like trying to get, your attention that like they're not combatants. They're trying to get out of there as quickly as you can. But they're here now. If any of you take actions and aren't okay with hitting these people and continue to attack the Screech Owl, your position will functionally be desperate.
So you mean...
That's fun.
Do we consider these as witnesses?
That's a great question.
I was going to say, so you mean there's extra XP on the field now?
Suddenly,
what
Pizza
I'm
has
hearing.
gone from being the least war crime squad to the most war crime squad.
Just talking about war crimes so far. Let's get Laren and the Hummingbird doing something before we get the other squad arriving.
Well, speaking of bad things arriving, I remember that they had the same plan we did. Do we see the Screech Owl's reinforcements coming in yet? Is that a thing that Laren could be acting to try and delay?
You don't see anything right now. Again, this has been like very quick, right? You still have that, like Mem is still telling you, something has locked onto you. You don't know from where.
Okay.
So, like, there's maybe some things you could do with sensors to try to figure that out.
Yeah,
but,
I'm thinking that, or maybe like an interface action to try and break the lock.
Sure.
Or maybe source it.
Yep. You got lots of options here. What do you want to do?
I think we're going to try and figure out where this lock is coming from.
Makes sense to me. How do you do that?
We're going to have Mem do that, because I do
Makes
have
sense.
the number 1 ability that lets the second in command specialist cohort use any of my abilities.
Yep.
Mem,
That makes sense.
being an AI, it makes this a little bit more feasible, as, I don't know, can she, like, directly interface with, like, the lock-on itself, like with the IFF, or...
Yeah, I think that she could trace this back, right, given time.
Okay.
It's specifically the text is her abilities, but I think that Mem, as we've played her, should have a better interface than you. So I will give...
I did take this 1 point of interface, primarily because Mem exists.
Right, but
more than Laren's own talents, so...
Totally. But I'm going to count this as specialist cohort getting to use your tier, so you're going to start at 2 dice
Okay,
here.
that makes sense.
I'm saying this is a good thing for you.
Yeah, okay.
So you've got 2 dice to start with for this interface. This is going to be risky great. That's where you're starting at.
Ooh, okay. What would the collateral look like?
The collateral here.
This is the collateral episode.
Yeah, everybody's really into collaterals today. It's fine. It's just I have to...
Well, you know, let's see what it is before we decide to leave it on the table or not.
Yeah.
Mem is going to have to access the system of the thing locking you on, or locking onto you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be a record of Mem's presence
Ooh.
in that system.
Sure, this sounds like it will have nothing but interesting narrative implications later on. Let's do it.
Perfect. Great. Love to
Can
hear that.
Also offer an assist to Laren/Mem.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
I'm wondering if, realizing these Jovangelian citizens are coming out, I'm wondering if one of them is looking away towards like a far off building, wondering where like some kind of support is. And
I want to make clear, these are not military people.
gotcha.
They are civilians.
These are specifically civilians, like being
Yes.
put in harm's way. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and I don't want to undercut that by saying, oh, actually, secretly one was a military spy.
I mean, I am already at 3 dice.
Well, what's a 4th?
Yeah, I mean, I'm already at 3 dice. This isn't like a super critical roll. You might want to, hang on to your stress so that you can pump it all into the Screech Owl.
Yeah, I can't really think of a way to help out.
That's
I love
fine.
the idea of Larry being like, "Thanks, Dorian, but it's okay."
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks, champ.
Focus on killing the target.
Oh.
Now that's canon.
Yeah.
Dorian ADHD representation.
Oh.
Okay, so to recap, we are doing
Interface.
interface. It is risky great,
Correct?
and I have 3 dice.
Correct.
All right, let's give this a spin. Oh boy!
Oofa doofa.
Oof.
Should have taken that 4th dice.
So, yeah, that is a 2, a 1, and a 3.
Yes, so that is a fail on a risky, right? Which means that I get
Yes.
2 consequences here, right? And that still happens.
Okay.
This system tracks that Mem enters it.
Mm-hmm.
Mem has like a distributed intelligence, right? Like there's actually a server at Pizza headquarters or something that like hosts Mem, right?
Ooh, yeah, okay, I see what you're getting at. Yeah, that would make sense.
I think that makes sense, right?
We've made references to that before, yeah.
Yeah. So that like the Mem you're talking to is like you're interfacing still with that server, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, good. Just wanted to make sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm splitting these consequences. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bad clock that I have not told you what it is yet. So that's at 3. Starting to get slightly worrying. That is resistible, but what you would have to tell me is how you do not leave whoever is tracking you time to like look into what Mem did, right?
Okay.
The other thing that I'm doing is I'm moving you all from a risky position into a desperate one. And the reason for that is that 2 Avies appear
Yes.
way up in the clouds, way, way above your heads. Her air support has arrived. Azara,
Yes.
you roll up. It's been long enough now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about Sebriel's mech.
Oh my god. I think it's very slick. I'm sort of, the image in my head is like of a marble statue.
Totally.
Very clean and sort of like angular lines.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's humanoid, like maybe to the point of like it being a little uncomfortable. Now that I'm describing it, it does literally just sound like like a marble statue. So I think that's kind of the image, the vibe.
Totally.
And has a lot of the accents of the Jovangelian flag, which is like purple and gold, right?
Totally. Yeah.
So I think it's like white, that sort of marbly color. But I don't actually think it's marble. It's probably like metal, but it's made to look like marble. And then all the accents, like on the gun and sort of around the where the head sort of connects to the shoulders, there's like gold and purple trim everywhere.
Perfect. And for the listener at home, who is Sebriel to you?
Sebriel is my rival.
Uh-huh.
Sebriel was the person who at least I am pretty sure, I being Azara, I'm pretty sure that was sort of leading the effort to annex my home planet.
Right.
And took my home from me. And I don't like Sebriel.
But Sebriel doesn't know who you are, is that right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, cool. That was the vibe that I had, so I just wanted to make sure that I was correct on that.
This is very much like Azara found a report once that had Sebriel's name on it and was like, well,
and it's this
is my life
face, now. Right? Like face and mech, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like it was like a report from the annexation or something that he found.
Totally. That makes a lot of sense. So,
it's just a Tuesday.
I think you're completely correct that Sebriel, in the last report that you saw on Sebriel, they had this mech that was this sort of like beautiful, angelic, or humanoid, right? I'm getting ahead of myself. They had this humanoid marble statue looking mech. Now it is like an angel, right? Mm-hmm. They've retrofitted it or done something to it. It now has these like massive wings, right? And that's how it is descending from on high upon you all now. The second mech that's here is one that you all can recognize because you saw another mech dressed up as it not too long ago. Descending from the sky is the Noontide Squall, the mech of Tempestion.
Yeah.
Here we fucking go.
Yep, you're in it now.
Thanks for listening to CalazCon. This episode was edited and sound balanced by Christine Blight. You can reach her for voice acting at cvblight@gmail.com. The show's music is by Devin Nelson. You can find them on all social media at Devin Decibel. If you'd like to support CalazCon, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/CalazCon. Please tell your friends about the show too. Remember, all glory to Calazar.